Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand.
Into the invocation, today we have Mr. Jason Miller. Come on up.
Thank you for letting us here. My name is Jason. I am an organizer and founder of Reno Satanic, and I am here to give the invocation today. Let us begin. In nomine de nostris Satanis Luciferi excelsi, in the name of the eternal rebel against tyrannical authority, in the spirit of your nature of the natural world, the freedoms of thought and expression, unprejudiced intellectual inquiry, economics and social progress, to bring influence and guiding actions of nobility and justice to the decisions made in this chamber today, to act with might in the undertaking of responsibility that may lay ahead of this body before us today. The new age is dawning that these decisions will play a role in. For our liberation, for here and now is our day of joy. Here and now is our opportunity. May we seize this glorious day and its enchanting nights to celebrate the wonders of the natural world, as we are all part of its boundless mysteries. In the spirit of the unconquerable sun, the bringer of light and knowledge, we say, Shemham Farash, hail Satan.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we will now move to public comment. Item number 4. I'm sorry, Mr. Manager, please lead us into item number 4.
Roberts is the English psychic who is on set to give us a reading right now. I would like, Paula, for you to give me a reading on President Trump.
Just the one card?
One card.
One card. Let's do just one card. We like that one.
What is that?
I mean, I do recognize that I'm at Fox TV. I am a sense of loss. A sense of loss. But it's very specific. No, let me move on. It's a sense of loss. It's as if he may be thinking more about what he's lost and not still taking full advantage of what he still has.
That's a great interpretation, Paula.
It's true. It's true. I mean, I don't make it up.
Let's see President Joe Biden. What will his year look like?
Let's look at Joe Biden. Lots and lots and lots and lots of money. Lots of money. I mean...
From China?
Oh, you are cheeky. I didn't say from where.
Lots of money.
A lot of money.
Is very interesting.
I mean, above... Okay, for whatever is his normal, it's way above. That's when I say lots.
Wow.
Because I deal with everybody of every possible income, so that's...
Please tell us what America should be looking for in 24.
Great happiness.
Yes.
Great happiness. I mean, that's just full of joy, happiness, contentment. I mean, it's as, I tell you, it's a funny way of putting it. It's as big as the money card is.
Ooh.
It's big.
Big.
Big happy.
Big happy.
Big happy.
It's a big happy year for America.
Let's talk about the real danger here of this, because what was happening in that segment, she was using something called tarot cards. So let's start there. Tarot cards, you know, they look like a card deck, like a regular card deck, but they're not quite just a regular card deck, are they?
No, not at all. Although that was the intention back in the, I think it was the late 15th century, a card game for in Italy called tarocchi, but actually got into the hands of an occultist. And that was when those pictures started getting channeled, interpretations were getting channeled by in the occult, okay? So what that means is that card is a piece of cardboard with a painting on it that has no knowledge about you, has no wisdom in your life, has no power to do anything but the demonic forces that you are now inviting because you're practicing divination. You're seeking those cards for esoteric knowledge. So you have entered into divination, you've opened demonic doors, and it's the demonic entities that are providing the information through the, like I said, through the interpretations and the little books that come with the tarot cards. There's a little pamphlet in there. That's the, meanings of the cards. And then the psychic themselves are receiving extra information clairvoyantly while they are doing these readings. But those cards know nothing about you.
Yeah, it's about the force that you're tapping into, right? Similar with, the Ouija board and these other tools that, there's a whole history to the Ouija board that's complex and strange and disturbing. But these are tools that are used to channel. And you did this, again, professionally. For those who will say, oh, it's not true, it's all made up, what would you say coming out of that lifestyle, what you experienced, what you saw, to help them understand the severity of engaging in this sort of activity?
When you enter into divination, you are bound to get the consequences that come with it. And of course, I didn't know at the time. I thought I was helping people, but I entered into the demonic realm. And I had anxiety, I had destruction all around me, which I wouldn't have credited to demons, of course, except there were times that I saw very evil things. I saw demons manifest. I was heavily afflicted. Demonic oppression is a result of entering into these readings, getting into these readings. It's not a game. It's not a parlor trick. And even out there with the charlatans and the hucksters or whatever, you're still entering into it. So you're opening the demonic door. And I think it's important for people to know, well, why are you saying it's demonic? Why can't it be something good? Because God condemns it. He's clear about that. So it's not a gift from God. So some people, Billy, think it's either entertainment or they have a gift. And this is just to help people and to guide people. But Satan masquerades as an angel of light. So he's going to make it look one way, even like a joke. However, he has to do it to deceive you, to lead you. And I know I kind of added on to your question.
No, it's great.
Please know that God is not man that he should lie. So he's not going to give you a gift of something that he condemns. He really cares about us. He loves us, and he wants us to stay far away from demons. So you're tapping into the spirit realm. You're going supernatural for esoteric knowledge. Okay. You're going away from God. You're going to psychics. It's the counterfeit version of prophecy. And like I said, this is the warning. Now you've opened the door to demons. And this is what kills me about it in our culture. You're exposing people. Now Fox News is exposing people, these people all around the world, whoever's watching, right, to demons. Even just putting the thought in their minds, like, oh, I wonder that maybe that's what's going to happen. And we live in a culture right now and a time where there's so much tension, where there's so much anxiety. There's not peace in the nations. There's a lot of things going on, and people really want to know things.
And the Bible explicitly, and that's the piece of this that we've, just to kind of drive it home, tells us do not engage with these things. And in fact, those who do, I mean, we see this throughout Scripture. We see it again, I believe, in Revelation, talking about, witchcraft and being involved in these things. You are not headed to spend your eternity with Christ. You are headed in the opposite direction. These are not tools when you're living a lifestyle embroiled in this that we are intended to be engaging with or using. And so that's interesting because, again, it's Old Testament, New Testament. We see that throughout. And you have a whole ministry where you're talking about this all the time. You have a podcast, Ex Psychic Saved. It's on the Edify Podcast Network. It's an incredible show where you tackle way beyond just tarot cards. You get into so many different topics. What continues to drive that passion for you now as a Christian to help other people step out of this world?
Winning souls, Billy, because you're absolutely right. I believe it's Revelation 21:8 that says that sorcerers will have the second death, the lake of fire. God, in his grace, set me free out of this 10 years ago, and I am on fire for Jesus. And I cannot stand seeing people demonically oppressed. I cannot stand people being deceived by the devil. It's everywhere. I see it. I know it. I lived it. And I'm here to warn other people about it. So what drives me is the Lord Jesus.
Now to our #1 trending story on CBSMiami.com.
It involves talk of alien sightings at Bayside Marketplace. On New Year's Day, there was a massive police response in downtown Miami. More than 50 young people armed with sticks began fighting. Police say juveniles were also setting off fireworks, causing chaos.
So now people are posting online saying that police weren't there to handle a group of rowdy teens, but rather 8 to 10 feet tall shadowy aliens. Conspiracy theories are saying a big creature could be seen standing in front of the entrance to the shopping area. Bayside today, the phrases Miami Mall and aliens of Miami have been among the top 10 searches on Twitter's trending tab. Twitter, of course, now called X. And Google News even has several reports questioning.
Disease X is a term for a hypothetical illness, one that has not happened and is currently unknown. In the scenario, experts from around the globe are evaluating what would happen and what we would need to do in order to prepare for a virus that could claim up to 20 times more lives than the COVID-19 pandemic.
In Davos, the Disease X scenario took center stage Wednesday.
You may even call COVID as the first Disease X. And it may happen again.
The WHO Director General acknowledges tough lessons were learned during COVID-19.
We lost many people because we couldn't manage them. They could have been saved, but there was no space. There was no enough oxygen. So how can you have a system that can expand when the need comes?
This bioethics professor says the pandemic showed us how one disease absorbing all available resources can lead to other health issues falling through the cracks.
A cancer diagnosis did not take place, with very severe consequences for the people that were affected.
Schukling says there are also ethical questions to consider when preparing for the next big health emergency.
Do we try to limit the number of lives that we lose? Or do we limit the number of life years that we lose? To what extent should we be concerned about equity considerations? Are we just concerned about health outcomes?
He cautions Canada is not ready.
We will be wholly unprepared for this because we are under-resourced. We don't have the staff, we don't have the beds available, so it will be a major problem, obviously.
Anything happening is a matter of when, not if.